Though past and present political leaders of the country have not yet been able to pass the LGBTQ bill into law, people who are suspected to be practitioners of this sexual orientation in their privacy are often abused physically, emotionally, and mentally by individuals who argue that Ghana is a religious country, hence the religious acts of this minority group is evil and should not be entertained. It is to help abolish such undemocratic practices being meted out to such people in the country that the Center for Democratic Development (CDD-Ghana), a non-profit research and advocacy think tank established in 1998, deemed it expedient to engage religious and faith-based leaders on human rights issues and approaches to protecting sexual minority groups in the country. The move is also to enable such religious leaders educate their congregations against such attacks on the suspected sexual minority groups or citizens of the country. As part of the event, the participants, numbering about 70, were taken through a number of topics including the rights of citizens in the country. The executive director of the African Center for International Law and Accountability, ASILA, William Nyako, in his presentation, took the religious and faith-based leaders through human rights, the constitutional and Ghana's international obligations to promote, protect, and fulfill the human rights of all persons.
The anti-gay bill also Akufo-Addo didn't sign. The death penalty bill to Akufo-Addo didn't sign. By the time we finish tomorrow, you will see why. And I'm with him on that. Because there's a provision in the Constitution called Article 108. And we'll go through Article 108 fully tomorrow. That if you are bringing a bill, it must be by the executive. If you're a private member that you are bringing a bill, they should not impose costs on the state. Because 2 million on here to our bank, we transfer the 2 million to the executive. We will not allow a private member to impose costs on the state. So anything that will impose a cost on the state, it must be brought by the executive, to whom we have given them. And it is Article 108, the Constitution. We'll go there.
The Senior Programs Officer of CDD-Ghana, Dr. Michael Augustus Akagbo, in an interview with our news team, disclosed that the 1960 Criminal Code, Section 104, is not clear on the implications regarding the phrase unnatural carnal knowledge. He therefore stressed the need for the citizenry to desist from taking the law into their own hands to molest those suspected to be members of the LGBTQ+ community.
And as you heard me tell the Reverend Ministers in this engagement, that they have to be very conscious of the statements they make to their constituents or their congregations regarding how people should treat suspected people they think they are LGBT or homosexuals. Because at the end of the day, at the end of those sentences that are messages they are giving are real human lives that are in danger of being taken by force, especially in a society like ours where we can be a bit barbaric in how far we exert supposed punishment on people because we think they are LGBT. But I mean, what crime has somebody being an LGBT done for them to be lynched? What crime have they done? I mean, even if assuming that it is a crime, they should allow the due process of law to deal with the issue. So there needs to be a great sensitization engagement so that people really understand that we cannot take the law into our hands. That even the bill had become law, it's not even our right to go out and lynch people because we suspect them to be gays or homosexuals. Engagement is with religious and faith-based organization leaders on having an understanding of the issues concerning rights of sexual minorities in Ghana. The whole idea is that to engage with these principal leaders who are at the forefront of the conversations, pushing for the law on LGBT rights in Ghana, and we wanted to be sure that they have a better understanding of the issues at stake, that the issues of rights are not contingent on the sexuality or any other characteristics of Ghanaians, but just on the fact that it has to do with people who be human beings. So all rights are contingent on just that you're a human being, and we need to stop making we need to stop making the error of subsuming rights under criminality.
Okay.
Started engaging with faith-based leaders, religious Christian leaders. We've done a couple of regions with these engagements. We are starting to also start to engage with Islamic leaders and traditional leaders also to have an understanding of the democratic dispensation we are practicing and why human rights are cardinal to the democratic enterprise. That yes, religion is very important in all aspects of our social endeavors. But at the end of the day, we are operating in the democratic society, where it requires that what makes us a democratic society is that every individual has the same level of rights. And what's most important is that it is these human rights that makes us a democratic society. So that conversation, I know we are finessing the line between the society and the state. There is this contestation between how our societies, our Christian societies, our Islamic societies, our traditional societies, how they think that it is in their interest to impose their realities or ethos on the state. And we need to start making that distinction. Yes, you might not like them because your faith or your religion abhors what the action you think they might be engaged in, but when it comes to the status underpinnings of how these issues to be addressed, it has to be done from the Constitution. It's the Constitution that guarantees their rights and not the religion or the ethos that comes to them.
Any message to Ghanaians?
Well, the thing is, I will probably say to everybody is that, which I said today, is that you have to understand that when we move into a constitutional democracy, what we're saying is that all persons, not male, female, but all persons have the same level of rights. The Chapter 5 of our Constitution guarantees and protects every single Ghanaian or every single person Ghanaian to have these fundamental human rights, that which cannot be taken away neither by society nor by the state. So we need to be very tolerant in how we create the society in which we are in. Don't forget that it is in the difference that we bring together is what creates the state called Ghana. So we need to be careful to destroy the diversity that comes with what has made us to be a country today.
James Kweku Baako's reports for TV Africa News.